Mhm.
Mhm.
Just a second. Hello, dear our Open Central Asia followers, and dear our colleagues, teachers, so our dedicated teachers. So welcome again to our Alumni Spotlight April edition. And today we have a very dedicated and one of the motivated teacher from Central Asia. It's great pleasure to introduce Zeboniso Murodova from Tajikistan as our April alum for the Central Asia Voice Alumni Spotlight Series. Zeboniso, she will be sharing her inspiring journey and experience. And let me introduce once again our guest. She's a dedicated educator with 12 years of experience in education development, specializing in English language learning, teacher training, soft skills, and youth empowerment. She has been she has worked as an English Access Micro Scholarship Program teacher in Khatlon region, where she teach leadership, teamwork, American culture, and volunteering. And she is also honored with the USG Alumni of the Year Award by U.S. Embassy in Dushanbe. And mostly she focused on the foreign language EFL teaching and then focused on communicative language teaching CLT. And let's give the applause to introduce herself as well. So Zibanisa, you may introduce yourself and then you may um, add some more information about you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for great introduction, and thank you for inviting me for this interview. And I think you have shared all about me, and I am pleasure to be here, and I'm ready for your question. So let's start it. Let's get
Yes,
started.
let's start. So I'm really eager to know more about you, and I'm sure that our listeners also want to know more about you, and then they are ready to apply some of your ideas, strategies as well. So let me start from
Yeah.
the first question. The first question is, okay, can you tell us about your journey into EFL teaching, like teaching English as a foreign language, and what inspired you to start?
Oh, that's a very good question. And I'm sure you will learn a lot about me from this question because how my journey has started to the English foreign language teaching, you know. When I was in the ninth or middle school, I chose a profession to be a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor, so because my aunt was a doctor, and every time when I visited her and I saw her, how she looked after her patient, how she always give us advice, and how even she cured me when I had one disease, and then I said I definitely want to be like her, but then things changed, and when I was about 16. My mother, who is also English language teacher in my native town, she teaches English, and she started teaching English at home. So she started being busy with tutoring. And this was 1996, and at that time, English become just becoming was becoming popular. And
Mm,
when and she started teaching English, and students start learning English, and my mom took some students at home. And at
mm,
that time, English, German was very important at that time. And at school where I was studying, I studied German. There were no English subject. So, but at home was English. I listened to this beautiful language at home when when the room where my mom was teaching was crowded with students, and I could hear this beautiful language, and I definitely fell in love with this language. And my mom, so who inspired me? My mom, because she was teaching this language. And I saw how much she was enjoying teaching her students, and so much passion and enthusiasm I saw in my mom's eyes and in her students. And I was looking at them and how they were speaking English in front of my mom. And I listened to this beautiful language, and I learned it. I picked up some words, and I learned
Right.
some new vocabulary. And then and then when my mom see that I got interested, and she asked me sit near me and you can be my assistant and you can
Mm.
check the my students homework while she went to drink some cup of tea, and I checked her students. She made me her assistant, and I loved helping her. And even I helped her students sometimes, and then she started teaching me, and she said, okay, now I think it's time that I have to teach you something, because I see that you are learned some couple of words, and I see that you are very interested. So this is how I started. My journey started learning the language, but not teaching yet, because maybe teaching a little bit, because I started teaching with her. And
Mm.
something changed in me, that, and I say maybe, how to say, then I understood that I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be like her. I wanted to be like my mother. I realized that teaching was what I wanted to do in my life. And
Great.
then in 2003, I was in the fourth year at my English faculty at the Bokhtar State University in Khatlon region. I had the opportunity to apply for being a student. I applied for a job, for English teaching job.
Mm.
It, and I was selected. I didn't even expect it. I will be selected, but I was selected. And but at that time, I just wanted. I went to this job interview like this. I wanted to go and to talk with a native speaker, because there was no native speaker at that time, and the books
Mm.
that I learned were all Soviet time. They were my mother's books. There was no like coloring books like this now. So many good books
Mm.
like the students have, like Headway or other file books or other text course books that the students are now studying and improving their English. At that time, there was Arakin, Bonk, and Burova, and those books that my mom studied at her time during Soviet time. So I studied with her books. And then there was no native speaker where I could speak this language. I only spoke with my mom and with her
Mm.
student. And I wanted a native speaker. And when I applied for this job interview, my only aim was not just to get this job, because I wasn't confident enough. I said, I'm not ready yet to be a teacher,
Mm.
because I want to be. I was teaching at home. I like that comfort zone, and I was scared to leave that zone to be a teacher. And I said, I'm just going to meet a native speaker and check
Mm.
myself. Will the native speaker understand me, and will she
Okay.
understand me, and will can I understand her as well? That was my goal. And you know that I was selected. The result was that I was selected to be a teacher there. So that was my destiny, maybe to start my teaching career. And I
Yeah.
started my teaching career being a student, and I started to work at the language center, not at secondary school, but language center. And there was mixed ability levels, and ages were different. I had kindergarten student, and then high school student, and even adults all in one group.
Mm.
And in language
Yeah.
center, different ages. And me, I was I was not ready to work with different ages and levels. And but this organization who employed me, they sent me to the training first, three
Mm,
weeks training, my first ever professional development training,
trainings.
where I was equipped with so many uh, tools and so many materials, how to teach English with different level of students and ages. And
Great.
that training gave me a power, a confidence that I can do it, even being uh, a student. So that professional development was a turning point in my career.
Mm, great.
I
So I'm
truly,
very,
I
yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry for disturbing. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, that I truly understood or discovered that my passion for teaching and uh, realize the potential that helped me to transform lives. So I see that I wanted to change people's life, and I discovered that passion that I have that passion to change other people's life, and. That motivated me, and I knew that that moment, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher, not interpreter, because at that time, whoever entered to the English faculty, they said, I want to be interpreter. And I also
Mm,
wanted to be an interpreter, but that training, that my first job said, no, I want to be a teacher. I want to transform my students' life, people's life, and to make difference. And
great.
that is
Yeah,
my journey started, how my journey
journey.
in
Yeah.
teaching started. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. So I'm very impressed with that. But anyway, your mother, she had influenced more rather than your aunt, right? Because you live
Yes,
together, and then so you could get kind of views, kind of ideas from her, right? And then so she did really great job motivating you
yes,
to be a
yes.
teacher. And then so
Yeah, and
I'm sure that you and so everyone in your family, so you are happy that at least so at the end you were in this destination. Yeah, great. Thank you. So the
exactly.
last one, how has your teaching style evolved over the years?
My teaching style. So I have been teaching, being in this field for 22 years. Of course, the teaching style will change over the years, I'm sure, with all
Mm,
teachers and the students, because the students are different, yes, and the classrooms are different. And in back again, I will go back to 2003, my
mm,
first training. I learned many interactive activities, many games, many fun, interesting games, and even songs. How to teach English through songs, and I loved teaching English through songs, and I tried to do more. I tried to be more. I wanted to be more facilitator, helping students to learn
mhm,
and also to be a demonstrator, to
mhm,
show visuals, pictures,
mhm.
toys. So my role, my style was being a facilitator to help and also to be a demonstrator. After that training, I said that I will be like this, uh, and because I didn't want to be just a teacher who will be standing in front of the board and giving lectures or being a teacher-centered, uh, make a teacher-centered classroom. I wanted to be, that was my style that I chose
Mm,
when I was equipped with a lot of materials in my first training. And then uh, when I graduated from the university, I quitted that job and I went to my native town and I started to work at public school
mm,
and
mm,
at public school. And here, there I wanted to start teaching kids. I wanted very much to start my career at school with teaching young learners because I loved
Mm-hmm.
kids and I wanted to start my career. But when I went to school, the principal gave me the 10th and 11th graders. They say no, no. Usually it happens when a new teacher, especially young teachers, will go.
Yeah.
They give the very hardest, the toughest grades.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
They want
they
to
will
check,
not.
right?
Yeah, they want to check you, and they want to. They will not let you to teach uh, your dream class because
Mm,
they want that you try something harder because they cannot manage that. Maybe this a newcomer will manage,
mm.
or we will see how she will manage. Maybe sometimes they will check, will she manage to do that, or they will just make a test on me. And so,
Yeah.
and I said that, but my goal was kids and all these materials that I had. I thought that I will apply it for kids. But when I had 10th, 11th grade, uh, I said I couldn't use songs with them because they are teenagers and they look, when I entered the classroom, they were big and I was very young, very slim girl, and I wasn't confident to be in front of the very strong young men and ladies. And I said that I can't, I can't use those materials with them, so I need to change my learning style here. So you see, with a different classroom, you have to think about another style. So,
Right. Yes.
so
So,
so here I wanted to balance. So here I wanted to
mm,
balance
balance.
the interactive games with traditional games. So I
Mhm.
wanted to be like friendly with them, but at the same time to be very firm, very strict.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I
Yes.
with adult with 10th, 11th grades, if you play games and sing songs, they might not take you seriously. So I said I need to make a balance. To be friendly as well and also to be very firm. So and then after that, when I finished, I was a micro scholarship access teacher. At
Mm-hmm.
that moment, again, my teaching style changed, and I start teaching English through technology, using technology, and I had computer with connected internet. I looked for different materials, and I started to connect my students with the world. I tried to use project-based learning. I looked for partner with other schools. I wanted my students be seen by the world. I wanted that they go beyond this wall, classroom walls. I wanted that the
Mm,
world sees them, they see the world. So when
yes.
I went to different conferences, international conferences, I looked for a partner teacher who wanted to be my partner school, to find pen pals for my student, to make any project. And I had a very
Mhm.
beautiful project, folk tales, national school uniform with Taiwan. That was amazing
Wow.
project. We talked about our school uniform and they sent their school uniform so much, and then we had like this virtual conference. At that time I used Skype application, Skype, you know, this video conference.
Yeah.
And at that so I connected my students. So I was lucky that I had internet and computer. At that time, not everybody had computers. It was like a luxury if you have a computer. So I earned money. I saved all my saving and I said, I must have computer. I need to change my style. So I wanted to be computer savvy. So I wanted uh, to use computer and technology. And you see, during this 2022 years of my teaching experience, I changed my style over and over. I went from being more authority style to being facilitator, demonstrator, and I want my students enjoy the learning and also learn well and have fun. That was my
Great.
yeah.
Thank you. So while listening your answers, so I'm very impressed. And then you have mentioned that during your teaching experience, you could teach different mixed ability students, right? Ages, and of course, you may have some problems as well, like challenges as well. And here I want to take one challenge. So I want to talk about the cultural and language barrier. Okay, because in your bio, I read that you teach the American culture as well, right, to your students. And have you ever faced cultural or language barriers in your classroom? And then how did you handle them?
Uh-huh. Uh, Cultural and language barriers, yes?
Language barriers, yes.
Okay, so I have been 3 times by 3 different exchange programs to
Mhm.
the United States. And I have been by T program, Fulbright, and FLTA, and I learned and I understand different cultural barriers and in the classrooms. So when I
Mhm.
was there, I shared also my culture. It was pleasure to share your culture with people, and they asked me so many questions. I also saw how American teachers teaching students from many different cultures. In one classroom, there are many different cultures. When we teach, there is only Tajik or Uzbek, yes, only two. And when I saw in American culture, in American classroom, the teachers teach different students with different cultural background. And I learned that, and I saw how teachers deal with that. And I learned that how I learned from there how they help the teachers. American teachers
Mhm.
help the students with different background feel comfortable in their classroom, feel valued, respected. And I take some ideas back to my classroom. When I was teaching in a public school, uh, the students who are the same culture, even the same culture, I still had some cultural and language barriers. Even we are having the same culture, we still have some barriers in culture. For example, one problem was when my students were shy.
Mhm.
Usually, our students are very shy to speak in front of everybody else, and in our culture, people don't like to make mistakes. Students want to be perfect. I know that they know the answer, but they are shy to say it because they're afraid to make a mistakes.
Mhm.
Because in our culture,
Yes.
we want to speak without mistake. We must not make mistakes because we must be very perfect. But so, in such way, I saw that my weaker students do not speak because they are
Mhm.
not confident. They're having fear. So my task as a teacher, I wanted to create a very comfortable classroom where they will feel okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have fears because if there is no mistakes, there will be no learning here in my classroom. So I started when I was in American classroom. In the walls, there were different quotation, different positive statement. When I read them, it motivated me. It
Yeah.
encouraged me to read, speak. And when I come back to my classroom, I hang those posters on the wall and write, it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are the proof because of you trying. So such kind of posters I hang on my wall that the students read it and feel, how to say, to feel okay. Because I wanted that
Mm.
they feel comfortable even and I always say them that I will not correct them in front of everybody. So whenever they make a hard mistakes, I can talk with them one by one. So in such way, my students were not afraid to speak. So it's one cultural barrier that I met that I gave encourage them. It's okay
Yeah.
to make mistakes. So I didn't tell the mistakes in front of everybody to embarrass them. And in such way, I created a very friendly, safe environment
Atmosphere,
where
yeah.
students can learn and practice the language without any fear that they will be humiliated or they will be embarrassed, you know. And I use a lot of group work because I saw when I was there, I saw that there was a lot of group works and pair works, and in the where the strong students will help weaker students, and I wanted in the group work that the students respect each other, not just say, oh, you don't know, we will not take you, we will, you, because your English is poor, they will not give the work to the weaker student because they are weak. I make a clear expectation at the beginning of the September, saying students that we must have rules. We must have rules as every teachers make to respect each other, to help each other, to support each other. In my classroom, you have to support each other, give chance to each other in order to have a very safe and friendly environment. We are one family. Even when working with access students, I make a very my students I created very friendly, safe in classroom where they were. I say you all like brothers and sisters. You have to respect each other. So you know, it is when you will set a clear expectation at the beginning of academic year of school. So in such way, the students will become confident, motivated, and
Great.
what else to
Wow.
say?
Okay. So I really
And
liked your
as for
strategies. Okay, Zeboniso, can you hear me? Yeah. So sorry if the
yes,
internet is
yes, I
not
can hear you. Yeah.
stable. So I really liked your strategies, and then I
Yes.
hope our viewers, our followers will also find them helpful, handy, and then they will apply them in their teaching. And I liked the promoting the safe environment in your classroom um, by how I can say it, by using the such kind of
Helping each other,
statements
respecting.
like do not be afraid, so everything is okay, we are not example the ideal ones, so we are equal, right? So I love them. Wow. So thank you, thanks for sharing. So and the next question is
And
so
respect each other. Yes,
yeah, respecting each other. Yes. Okay. So I'm very impressed that you have been selected 3 times, right, as an alumna in exchange programs. And then, so can you tell us more about your open courses? And then, which open course have you taken so far? And then, what strategies or tools have you found most effective in helping
okay.
students succeed?
Okay. I in the 2019, I applied for the open online course on teaching grammar communicatively.
Okay, great.
That is the, yeah, because I wanted to know how to teach grammar communicatively, not to because you know teaching grammar is a little boring if you do not do it
Yes.
communicatively. And I
Mm,
wanted very much the students do not feel whenever you explain present simple or something and you explain the rules or write the board, the chart, the negative form, the interrogative form. So it will be kind of boring. And I wanted to take this course to learn about how to make grammar to teach it in a very fun way, the students, and very communicatively. And that was in summertime in 2019. I took this open course and I didn't realize that it will be very hard because it was first time I took this course. And also at that time I had problems with internet and when
mm,
that platform where our courses were, it required a very high-speed internet. But I took my computer and looked for the signals coming out into the yard and looking for a spot where internet will be very good, have a good signal. But I didn't give up, even. The tasks were very hard. I try to encourage myself. You can do it. It's not hard. Let's do it. And I learned a lot in this communicative language teaching. I learned about um, uh, differentiate grammar instruction in
Mm.
large and diverse classroom. And and also what I like from this question.
Yes, you may continue.
I can continue. You can record it.
Yeah, yeah, it's recording. Sorry for the internet. Okay.
Uh, I think you have to click to recording because whenever you, okay.
Mhm.
And in what I like in open courses, when you are in a discussion forum, when you are in discussion forum and meeting other educators from around the world, where they share their brilliant ideas, how they teach grammar communicatively. I save all their ideas, copy and paste them in a Word and read them. We are learning from each other. We not only take the course, but we all learn from our fellow educators. I love that.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you may continue.
Yes, that part is very interesting. So in one word, I want to say that this course gave me practical ideas, techniques, how to teach grammar communicatively. And I explored a range of communicative tasks and activities, how to make grammar, how to teach grammar in a very meaningful context. And
Great.
I gained a deeper understanding of how grammar practice should be engaging and relevant and focused on communicative outcomes. So, and also I took several other MOOC open courses, but
Mm.
after this course, I didn't have opportunity to take again. I wanted again to apply for.
Zeboniso,
Yes, yes, I'm here.
sorry, I think it's a problem not in my internet. It's in our city. Everywhere internet is today problematic. Everyone is kind of shutting that internet is not working here.
Mhm, mhm,
Wi-Fi, so the mobile hotspots, вообще интернет везде у нас,
mhm.
вот именно сегодня. А на самом деле такого не было. I'm really sorry for that. How can we do? Oh my gosh. Because mostly again.
Question 5, yes?
Okay, thanks. So I like it. Your topic talking about the teaching grammar communicatively. That I like the idea that so of course for in the first sight grammar is boring for us, right? No one wants to teach it or no one wants to study it. But and those I'm very inspired by your motivation to take this course and
Mm,
handling with a tough time like uh, how I can say finding the
finish.
internet signals, right? Okay, catching them and then using
Yes.
them. Yeah, very impressive. And which
And,
strategies do you still apply to your students?
and I try to create a meaningful context where they
Okay.
can use grammar communicatively. I try to create communicative activities and tasks. And usually I use I don't teach grammar, but I used TBL approach, where we learn about this approach in this course and how to teach grammar in a meaningful context if you use this approach. So, from when I take this
So
course, I didn't start teaching
TBL,
grammar like I did before. I use this
okay.
TBL, where
TBL, right? You mean
TBL, yes,
so TL
task-based
stands for
learning.
good, yes.
Task-based learning,
Task-based.
where I give task, communicative task, and
Mhm.
for example, in the restaurant, yes, and the student have
Mhm.
to speak. Uh, One will be waiter, another will order the food, and they have to try some. And I will not explain them grammar there, so I give them this meaningful task, communicative. They have to speak, and they will use. mm, grammar there themselves, and my task is to be a facilitator, observe. And you know what I would like to say, that when I take this course, I was not teaching grammar as I was teaching it before. It
Before.
changed. Yes, I
Yes.
try to focus on more on meaningful context and uh, how to engage students and find focus on communicative results rather than to teach. And I try to create a dynamic, engaging environment for my students. And you know, I would like to recommend whoever want to
Mhm.
apply whoever will decide to apply for the open courses, this course will be very interesting. If you want to teach grammar communicatively, in a very communicative way, not in a very boring way,
I
where,
like the
yeah.
I like the TBL application, and I also suggest to our colleagues to use this application, and then of course they will find it's very beneficial. Great, and let's continue. So my next question is, if you could design your ideal EFL classroom, and what would
Mhm.
it look like?
Ideal English language, foreign language classroom. Okay, that's very good. Okay, how it will look like. I think
As
firstly,
you're an experienced teacher, you have so many
yes,
ideas, and it's really interesting
yes,
for
yes.
us as well to know about it. Uh-huh.
Yes, the first thing for my ideal classroom would be a technology rich
Mm,
environment, because uh, over the years my style changed. I told you I more focused more on technology. I wanted to integrate technology to make the learning fun, because now our students are very tech savvy people. Students, yes, they are all in the technology. Maybe they know more about technology rather than teachers, yes, because they're every day
yeah.
in their gadgets. And the first, my idea will be that my classroom will be technology rich, internet with computers with reliable internet,
Stable.
stable
Yes.
internet, and interactive whiteboards, electronic
Mm.
whiteboards, and what else? So internet, uh,
What about the
whiteboard.
number of students? Number of students that you would love
Yes,
to work.
yes. This is the first is technology, and the second will be the number of the students shouldn't be more than 10. And if it's large classes, it should be divided. Because
Okay.
I would like that like in access students, when
Mm.
we were teaching, I had 12 students, which was very sufficient. I could I could talk with every of them. I could communicate. It was very perfect number. That was ideal. The
Mhm.
access classroom for me was the ideal. 12 numbers were very ideal for me. Yes, you are right. The number of the student is also a dream. For some teachers, it's a dream to teach in such in such number. Yes, not
Right.
usually it's 35, 45 students where with different level, and you can't even move the desks. You can't do any stand-up moving activities because the desks are stuck on the floor. You can't move it, and the students do not like to move. And also, I
Right.
would like very active students, very students who have desire to learn, the students who are very like to change, because sometimes the students have no desire in that learning language,
Mm.
I would
Yeah.
like students who be willing to take part in all activities. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
students have different learning style, and we have to take it into consideration because some of them are kinesthetic, some of them like moving, and some do not like moving. You should also take
Yeah.
it into consideration.
Yeah.
Yes, and also the third will be to create a very positive classroom environment. That is
Mm.
also my aim, as you understood from my previous question,
Great.
when I'm building,
Yes.
having a cultural barrier. The first task will be that I create a positive environment where students will feel free to make mistakes, they will respect each other, they will use the language without any shyness, any hesitation, without any fear, and that creating that positive environment will be very beneficial. So these are my three aspects of having an ideal classroom.
Yeah. Yes, so I think this is not only your dream, this is a dream of all the English teachers, like having the
Exactly.
advanced technology classroom and then the number of students, of course. I have been working as an access program as well, so now I'm working with the madrasa boys as well. And
Mm.
the last thing, it's of course creating the friendly atmosphere. Thank you. So here I want to add one more thing. So I wanted mine as well. So
Yes,
the
please.
time. I want to have
Time.
90 minutes. Like access is ideal, right? Even the time, the number.
Yes.
So at school as well, I want to have 90 minutes, not 45 minutes.
Mhm. That's a
Because
good point.
45
Yes.
minutes is not enough for me. Okay, great.
That's why I
Thank you.
thought that Access Classroom was ideal. When I was teaching Access students, two periods. One,
Mm,
I finished one and I took another period with another students. I loved being access teacher and the number of students perfect. Then I created the environment and then the time was also very perfect. We have plenty of time for practicing, plenty of time for explaining the grammar. And so, it was wonderful. Ideal classroom for me.
great. Wow, thank you. So we do have two more questions. So thanks for answering to these questions. And then so as a listener, I'm really enjoying. And so
Thank you.
question number six here. Okay, as an experienced teacher, I really want to hear from you one piece of advice you always share with your students and then with your colleagues.
Yes, I love that giving advice. That's very good question because for example, whenever I do professional development, the teachers ask, give us advice, what should we do? And I always share the advice, some advice with teachers from my experience. And with students, when I'm teaching pre-service students, right now I'm
Mm,
working at the English faculty, and my focus is both pre-service teachers who will be English teachers and also
mm,
in-service teachers
in
who are
service,
English
yeah.
teachers. And I always share my examples with them, my advice with them. So, what piece of advice I give to my student? I say, as I hope already explained you, that mistakes are okay.
Mm,
So don't worry about making mistakes because when you make mistakes, it means that you are trying to use this mistake, to use this language. So please, whenever I teaching any class, I must say mistakes are okay in this session or in my training. So do not feel overwhelmed or stressed if you make mistakes. And because learning is an opportunity, we have to take this opportunity and we have to make mistakes because this is foreign language. This is not our
Right.
native language. And
Yes.
this is a foreign language. We have to make mistakes and when we make mistakes, we will have to learn from it. And in our culture, we always, as I have told you, fear of making errors. Yes, we always fear not to. We say, okay, whenever my English will be well, then I will speak. So I'm not ready yet. But when you will be ready, whenever you will be ready, then there will be not opportunity for you to speak. So this is a
Mm,
right time for you to speak. And when you will be ready, maybe then it will be too late.
right.
So
Yeah.
don't wait the right moment. Just use this present moment. Live in the
Mm-hmm.
present moment and make these mistakes. And also another mistake that I see, I advise, be courageous, be brave. In learning
Mm,
language, it's not only to learn a language. For example, some students I know that have a very perfect English or very good English language, but they have no courage to speak in front of
mm,
everybody. And I
right.
say
Yeah.
that if you have a little bit of English, you should have also have courage. If you have courage, even your very less vocabulary, you can give your opinion, you can express your idea. If you have courage to stand in front everybody to say your opinion, to show your voice. So that's why I always say, when you learn a language, be courageous, be brave to whenever you have failures, accept it.
Mm,
Be brave to accept it because it's not the end of the world. So try to learn from it
yeah.
and then go forward again. Go forward again. So language learning is a journey, not a destination. So we are
Right.
all in journey. So don't worry about that. So I always remind them about that language learning is a journey, not a destination. So mistakes bring us closer to the fluency. If you don't
Right.
make mistakes, you will not speak, you will be silent. So so your mistakes make you fluent. And always my students ask me, give us advice how to be fluent in English. How can I speak very fluently? You know, I have been 3 times in America. I never wanted to speak very fluently or to accept any kind of accent. I just wanted, even now, if I'm speaking, I might make some mistakes, but that is not my goal. My goal was to be fluent, to speak, to express my opinion, to be brave, to be courageous, and mistakes are okay. I'm learning, and it's bring me to the fluency. So I encourage my students. I say to overcome their shyness and speak
Mm,
English and be active at the English lesson and experiment with language. Try language. Do this. If it didn't work out, try another. Every time, experiment. This activity, that approach, even with teachers. Try this method. Try TBL. Experiment with this. But don't judge from one lesson. If one lesson goes
mm,
wrong, don't make conclusion. Oh, it doesn't work. Try several times. Experiment it with another group and see the result
right.
and make reflection to yourself and then make conclusion. And I always try to say to the teachers as well, experiment with language, experiment with
Mm,
different methods of teaching. Every day try something new, a new game, a new activity. And
right.
also, yeah, this is, yeah, I think I gave a lot of advice. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
so the advice, I do agree with them. So totally. So as you mentioned, like mistakes are the proof, right? They are proof, and then they show the progress. So I like it. So all the advice, and then I hope the other our listeners also find them very useful, and then so they will be as you mentioned like brave in practicing, in
Mm,
applying, in experimenting, right? Great.
yes.
Thank you so much. So and the last question, but not least one. Okay, any book, resource, or tool recommendations for aspiring EFL teachers?
Okay. Um, right now, I am in my library, in my English Resource Center's library. I have a very good book, which I recommend the methodology department to use it. It's Essential Teacher Knowledge by Jeremy Harmer. It's a very good book, and because I like it, there so many everything is explains there, but from how to teach, how to correct errors, for example, how
Mm.
and there are many good lessons there, many advice, many approaches how to use uh, different things. So I recommend this. I love this book, and I also recommend it to teachers at my faculty how to use this book, and also by this author Jeremy Harmer. I like the book How to Classroom Management Techniques. Classroom management techniques, which is also very important. And I used this book when I was teaching pre-service students before they go to the practicum because they learn a lot of theory at the university, but when they go to the practicum, they say we don't know how to begin and how to finish our lesson, what techniques we need, and they stress out. They are in front of the board and they don't know how to deal with these large classes. And here they need a technique. So this book is very good, Classroom Management Technique. I love this book very much. And what else? I like also because a lot of teachers come to me and say, Is there any book, activity books, any
Oh
speaking
yeah.
activities, or very interactive?" And I like the book by Penny Ur, 5 Minute Activities, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm.
5 Minute Activities by the author Penny Ur. So there's so many good activities for 5 minutes. How to, as a warm up, even you can use them. So I love this book very much. 5 minute activities, and I recommend teachers whenever they come, give me any interactive game, and I say take this book. It's very interesting.
What about the internet
But,
resources? Which internet websites do you use a lot? The reliable
uh,
ones.
uh, American English State Gov. There are so
Mm-hmm.
many good resources. I use
Mm-hmm.
them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I also,
Great.
for phonetic, Hancock. If because some phonetic teachers come and say, "Do you have any interactive, communicative phonetic games?" Hancock
Mm-hmm.
McDonald, if I'm not mistaken. This is very interesting resource on it, and there's so many phonetic activities there.
Mm-hmm. Great. Wow.
IESL Collective. Also, there are also wonderful worksheets there. I love it. And sorry, just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, there's so many. I use ISL Collective. Mostly, I use it to find interactive worksheets. And
Mm-hmm.
Canva.
Okay.
Canva. There's so many also worksheets interesting in Canva. I love Canva also very much. Yes.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So, um, oh, thank you. So, thank you.
Is there other
I'm
question?
kind of speechless, you know. Okay, and I really like
Thank
it.
you.
So our talking. So and thanks for creating even with me such. It's our first time talking with you, right? So here you could
Yeah,
create friendly atmosphere, and then uh,
thank you.
I believe that your students are always happy being in your class, and then they come with the eager, they come with the motivation, and then wish you the further success in your teaching.
Thank
And
you very much.
I hope these teaching academic years, I hope you will work many years and then fruitfully, and
Thank
these
you.
years bring you as much joy and fulfillment that I can see that you really enjoy from your job, and then you love your
Yes,
job, and then this joy, much joy and fulfillment as you bring into your students' lives every day. And wish you, of
thank
course,
you.
the success, and I hope you will share with other students the maybe the links, maybe the books, and we will also add to our video, and maybe the names, because I'm sure the students will be they will ask the names, and then I mean the authors of these books. And please be in touch with us always. And
Yes,
if you have
I'm there.
any wishes to our listeners, so you are welcome.
Mhm. Thank you very much, Gulru, for this wonderful question. And I hope you said that at the beginning, remember you said introduce yourself. You know, it's sometimes it's very hard to say about yourself because we get used when someone tell about you. Because you see, I teach my student not to be shy to speak, but at the beginning I got shy to say about myself a lot because I sometimes I think it will be like a boasting that I am saying boasting about myself, telling all about. I prefer that maybe some others tell about me more. But during this interview, I hope I could open about myself. I introduced myself maybe a little bit because in such a short time you can't say all this 22 years of teaching where I taught and what challenges I met, what achievements I had. But what one thing I want to say that when you love what you do, your job will not seems very hard. You know, I love really, I love my job, and I don't regret any day that I choose this profession. Never. I never regret. Maybe other things that I regretted when I was in my exchange trip. I wanted to do surfing and I didn't do it, and I regret now. Or some things that I wanted to buy, I didn't buy, I regret. But I never regret choosing this noble profession. Never. There were not any days that I say that I regret I choosing this hard job. Never. Because I loved. I consciously chose this job. I saw how my mother changed people's life, how her students followed her, and now her students are like side by side with her, and their teachers. They choose to be a teacher because she inspired them, and also she inspired me to be a teacher. So I followed her step because I see that our job is changing people's life, and we put the students on the right way. And when you love your job, of
Right.
course. And
Yes.
my thing is that whenever you choose this profession, love it. If you just put much passion into it, and the students feel it when you enter the classroom, if you have passion in your teaching, they feel it. They feel your energy. They feel your energy because if the teacher is happy, the student is happy, and the classroom will be a happy classroom. So that's why what I want to wish teachers that love what you do and always seek for opportunity to learn something new. Every day, Gulru, you know, I always say myself that this is another miracle day, and I have to
Mm.
learn something new today. Maybe one
Wow.
word, one phrase, one idiom, or one from one webinar, one method, one activity. So this is a beautiful day I was given today, and I need to learn something. And I have to, and
Wow.
then by the end of the day, reflect on that and write I yourself, what did I learn today? Think, reflect on your day and talk to yourself. And I love writing, journaling, and I always by the end of the day or by the end of the week, I write, what did I learn today? Or by the end of the academic year, I say, what did I achieve this academic year? What did I did wrong and how I can improve for the next academic year? What should I do? So I am giving myself advice. And also, I love writing and I love preparing myself. If anybody will ask me what advice would I give, I should prepare myself, looking back at my experience, to my younger version of myself when I was very young and I started career, and what would I wish to the teachers who are just beginning their career. So always prepare yourself to this kind of things, because when the teachers or the students will ask you, and
Right.
that's why I love writing. I prepare this beforehand. And so once that, I would like to say what else I should say. I think I have say a lot, and I will
Yeah.
share, of course, if anyone want to know. I don't remember all the resources I have used, but I just told you what I was on my mind. And I can, if I remember others resources, I will
Yes, please
definitely
share with
share.
us. Yes, to teachers, of course, they will be interested. And then so it's visible that your influence positively shapes your children's futures in profound ways. And then
Yeah.
I'm happy for your students as well, having such kind of dedicated teacher, and then for your pre-service students as well, because they will take you as a role model, right? And they will start their journey like you, and then of course you will be remembered forever in their
Yeah.
hearts, in their mind, and because so as I go back to my teaching experience, I was also motivated by my teachers, by my university teachers. And then
Mhm.
so I'm really happy that your students have such kind of motivated, dedicated teacher. Even 22 years you are still with this strong motivation, and you have not lost, and which is great. Thank you so much, and thanks for your for giving us your time. And then we know time is very precious, and our
Okay.
here interview has been lasted not for 50 minutes, for a long time, but I'm very happy, I'm very motivated. At the same time, I'm very interested in knowing more about you. And then I hope we will organize one more meeting, and then we'll prepare another questions, and then we want to know more about your experience.
Okay,
And
I like it.
uh, yeah, thank you. And then see you next time. We don't say goodbye, we say just see you next time.
See you.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Thank you very
okay.
much.
So have a good
Thank you.
day ahead and enjoy your teaching. And okay, bye.
Thank you.
So thanks
Thank you very
everyone
much.
for watching. And so I hope if you will have any questions, comments, you will share under our the video, and Zeboniso will be ready to answer right in a written version. As she mentioned, she loves writing, and she will be ready to
Yes,
answer
I will
your
try.
questions. Okay,
I
thank you.
promise. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.